It's 9:30. Welcome to the weather update on this brutal Tuesday, July 19th. And not much of a sea breeze going on right now. You can see we're still in the, depending on where you are, first of all, right off the bat, we have a heat advisory in effect. And this is going to go until, heat advisory is going to go until noon Wednesday till 8 p.m. Thursday. So the heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. Thursday. In fact, this heat advisory is going to be continuing for quite some time as a result of this ongoing heat that we are dealing with. And again, you see no sea breeze going on. You'll notice, though, it's a little cooler over Suffolk County. Temperatures around 80 there, and even some upper 70s as you head out east, depending on where you were today. But most of the island sweltered, including the South Shore. You can see 84, even South Shore, Nassau County. 87 in Carl Place with a dew point of 67. So that temperature in the alley is actually not much higher than everywhere else. We're about 85. That's something 84, 85. So the alley is actually not any worse than anywhere else around here, oddly enough. And you can see there, 7. So everything's just, the heat is just being held in. That west wind is just taking the heat off from Jersey and the city, spreading into Nassau County. If you're out east, you're doing a little better. We're going to look at what the day was like. I guess we'll take a couple of observation looks here. Let's go look at Islip. 79, dew point 72. So they must be having some type of sea breeze there. You can see the humidity is higher, but the temperature is lower. So let's go take a look at Islip, and you'll see what's going on. So it looks like they actually had a sea breeze most of the day. I'm seeing southwest to southwest winds. There was a west wind in the morning, but then it shifted off to the southwest. But the sea breeze only brought very little relief. It only dropped the temperature a couple of degrees, and it made the humidity actually go up. It looks like the dew points were manageable, though, in the mid-60s. You can see it going a little more west-southwesterly there. And then the dew points came up this evening. Surprisingly, the dew points were not as high during the day. I guess they had a little bit of that residual dry air, but still, everybody pretty much suffered over there. Islip, Farmingdale. Let's go look at Farmingdale, where it's 88 degrees at this hour with the dew point of 65. That killer west wind does not cool off at night. This is like the city here, dealing with that heat all night long. And you can see now, if you go west toward Farmingdale, you can see they only had a sea breeze for a very brief amount of time. So you can see they were dealing with low 90s, dew points in the mid-60s. And then the sea breeze came in a little bit. You can see it really didn't offer much relief. Came in for an hour or two in the afternoon, and then back to the west again, the winds. All right? And we never got any sea breeze here in Mineola at all whatsoever. Now, if you were on the South Shore, you did get a sea breeze. And it's 84. What looks like Massapequa Park has a very weak sea breeze. 84, the dew point is 70. Barely any sea breeze at all. Barely any relief. You would have to go out toward Montauk. That was the only place that really avoided it. If you were out in Montauk, then you were not dealing with the heat at all today. You'd still dealt with mid-80s, but you didn't have to deal with any 90s. They still managed to get up to 87. Now, here's the place you really want to be. Block Island, where it's 72 with a dew point of 66. Let's see how Block Island did today. Oh, they were only in the, they only got to the low 80s. There you go. That's where you got to be, way out there. And the water's a little cooler out there, too. So that helps. And even right at the beach, we're going to look at some one-to-ground observations, too. We got a lot to cover. Obviously, the city is warm. And if you were in Jersey today, it's actually cooler there. 80 degrees. The dew point is cooler in Toms River than it is in much of western Long Island right now, which is kind of strange, considering. Usually it's always hotter there, but for whatever reason it's cooler. Probably because it is a relatively undeveloped area, and a west wind for them comes off the Pine Barrens, which is an undeveloped area. You'll notice this darker shade of red here. That, I believe, is an excessive heat warning that's posted for southern New Jersey. We could see that creep northward as well. The rest of everybody is in a heat advisory. I'll click this. We'll get the heat advisory, excessive heat watch also issued for that area. And then if we go down here, I think that is excessive heat watch. So that's that darker color. But, yeah, this is insane. We're going to be dealing with this for a long, long while. So let's go look at the high temperatures today. And you'll see they'll be fairly uniform. There's not going to be much of a difference between... most everybody was in the low to mid 90s. So if we look at Long Island here, you'll see a low 90s being reported. I don't know why it's only showing a few stations. Let's see if we can get that to work again properly. Yeah, so you can see mid to upper 80s on the East End, maybe right on the beaches, but other than that, low 90s everywhere else for highs. Same thing for the city, low to mid 90s. Yeah, I still see a couple of more like mid 90s if you're in Ocean County there, so to get up to 94 over there. But yeah, everybody was in the 90s today. Brutal, just sweltering day. That's all I gotta say. So let's go back to yesterday and the rainfall totals. So we're gonna just briefly go over these rainfall totals with you. So you'll see here that look at some of these numbers in Connecticut. This is pretty impressive here. So over 3.9. It's a month's worth of rain in one day. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy right there. A month's worth of rain in one day in some of these areas in Connecticut. New Haven, Milford, 2 inches. Didn't get quite hit as badly. Look at Berlin, though. Fair Lawn, 4.25 inches. I mean, this is insane. I'll provide you the links to this below, but these are some pretty heavy rainfall amounts here in northern New Jersey, as well as the Bronx, over 3 inches there. Now, Long Island doesn't seem so bad. Oyster Bay got 1.84 inches, 1.75 inches in Washington Heights. Orange County didn't get hit that bad, but Rockland also got nailed with over 3 inches in some spots of rain. And Suffolk County, too. Southold on the North Fork, 3.33 inches, 2.60 in Orient Point. And then look at Westchester County, Tarrytown, up to 4.31 inches. New Rochelle, 4.13. I mean, White Plains Airport got 3.40 inches of rain from that yesterday. That's to say it's a month's worth of rain in a couple of hours, in about 2 or 3 hours. That's pretty crazy, all right? That is pretty crazy. That's definitely not supposed to happen, but I'll provide you the link report from below. And we already did go over the storm reports, but I'll provide the link for that as well, so you can look at that. But looking at the current satellite, you can see that we've got that haze. We had that haze in the sky today. You can see it on the satellite, actually. And this is all actually coming off from, especially you notice up here in this area right here, you'll notice that haze up here in upstate New York going across northern New England there. And that is from wildfires burning. So this is the MODIS satellite, so you can see there is the smoke right there. So this is all from wildfires that are burning up in Canada. Look at all those wildfires. And those aren't the only places there are wildfires, by the way. There are wildfires in Europe, too, I believe in Spain. I don't see... Yeah, you can see some in Spain, in France. You can see some of the wildfires smoke there. And if we go and look at Europe heat wave, you'll see live update here. Multiple fires burn amid record heat in the United Kingdom. Oh, my gosh. Those look like building fires. So several fires burned homes and property in and around London. Some of the blazes started as grass fires that spread to homes driven by extreme heat that followed weeks of drier than usual condition. And it's official, the UK saw its hottest temperatures ever on record Tuesday. The mercury hit 40.2 degrees Celsius, or 104 degrees Fahrenheit, at 12:50 local time today at London's Heathrow Airport. In addition to London, multiple other locations also topped UK's previous national record set only 3 years ago, about July 2019. So, chaotic scene, East London fire. So they have fires. This is hell. Heat, smoke, air pollution warners. However, there is going to be relief on the way for them. Wednesday will be less hot, but meteorologists said so. This is crazy. Look at all these fires going here, affecting houses. The grassland fires are spreading to buildings. This is insane here. Significant fires still burning in the city. I mean, the globe is on fire, all right? The globe is on fire. And, yeah, they won big today on Wall Street. They won big. I'm not even going to show you, all right? But they won big, just completely oblivious to all this chaos going on Firefighters continue to significant fires across London as the night moves in. So this is pretty crazy here. London, of all places. So I'm going to attach this article too as well. Absolute insanity going on in Europe right now with this European heat wave. And heat wave has killed more than 1,700 people in Spain and Portugal. So that is because you got to remember, a lot of those areas, they don't have air conditioning. A lot of those places, because they don't usually get, especially the UK, they don't usually get really hot weather there. At least they didn't used to, but now they do because of the climate crisis. All right, and Biden is actually holding off on talking about a climate emergency. It's unbelievable. I mean, what is he waiting for? Unbelievable. So, getting back to here in the States. We have our own issues with heat. This is posted by Tri-State Weather. The whole state of Oklahoma today, above 100 degrees this afternoon. The whole state. That is insane. So this heat, I'm telling you, the globe is just burning up. And nobody seems to really care. It's unbelievable. Especially in the United States. Fortunately in the United States, we don't have any states experiencing major power outages, and this is something that I'm really scared of, is blackouts and power outages because of this heat. Because you got to have air conditioning, otherwise you're not going to survive. So let's go and talk about what we have coming up. Obviously, this big ridge across the heat is going to continue to spread, and you'll see tomorrow. For the most part, it'll be dry. You'll see here it's a dry front that comes through. That's what I'm going to call it, a dry front. All it's going to do is drop the humidity. It'll be just as hot, if not hotter, because the winds go to the westerly. And all that heat from the center of the country is going to continue to be spread up in our direction. So continuing to spread from west into the east with this westerly flow that we're going to be getting on Friday, right into the weekend, too. No relief. It looked like we might see some relief on Sunday. Look at that ridge is not going anywhere. We may have to wait until maybe Monday to see a little bit of relief. But look, that ridge doesn't go anywhere. All right. So if we look at our temperatures and we look at the heat here, and let's look at the heat spread throughout the country here. We look at our highs. Here we go into tomorrow. You see that heat and look at the heat in Texas, in Oklahoma. Spreading up, it's spreading throughout the entire east. You have to be in the upper Great Lakes to have some kind of relief. Upper Great Lakes or well up into Canada. All right, to escape this. All right, here we go. Thursday, heat's still here. Look at that. Maybe a little bit of relief with this dry front that'll come through. And again, look at that heat spilling up into the Dakotas now. The whole country pretty much, except the extreme Pacific Northwest and the extreme northern Great Lakes is dealing with this heat. All right, here we are for Friday. Heat is still, and look at the heat now spreading northward here. Here we are into Friday. All right, Saturday. This is the GFS, so no relief. All right, here we are Sunday, still no relief. And I think we'll have a shot at 100 one of those days. And then finally by Monday, it finally gets knocked down. But you notice how it got delayed a day. All right, this heat is just unbelievable. Look at the heat that is just encompassing Texas, Oklahoma, into Kansas. I mean, this is just insane. And then we get right back into it again. So it's really here we are nearing the end of July, and then finally it looks like maybe finally we start to see it get pushed down a little more. But man, look at this. 111 in South Dakota. This is Wednesday, August 3rd. Actually Tuesday, August 2nd. But I mean, look at this. This is insane. This is just insane. It really is. It's really very, very concerning. It really is. I also want to go to Vent2 Sky, and we'll go ahead and we'll show you what's been going on in Europe, too, as well. Let's go over here. So right now it doesn't look too bad in London, but earlier, if we could rewind this back, you could see the heat that has been encompassing much of Europe here. Look at this. Yeah, over 100. This was what it was like today in over 100 here. You can see that south wind just coming up off all throughout Africa, and it's just spreading the heat northward. Even into parts of Germany, all across Europe. You have to go. You have to really be in. This is the place to be at. Finland, Sweden. Yeah, that's where you're going to escape it. That's how far north you have to go to escape it. But anyway, let's go back to our models here, and we'll go look at the HRRR, which we should have in now. And we will go, yeah, we have most of it in. Let's go look at the precipitation first. Just to show you when our next chance of a shower or thunderstorm could be. And there could be a small chance of an isolated storm tomorrow in the afternoon. You can see it's trying to develop a few. And if there is a sea breeze, then perhaps it would form along a sea breeze front. But you can see here's this dry front for Thursday. And it's not really showing much in here, so I'm glad we got all that rain because now it's going to be dry. This front's not really showing much thunderstorm activity at all today. Not much at all. It's barely any, actually. This is for, again, Thursday, all right? There's not much activity on this one, and there's not much activity on the NAM. So despite a little bit of a V shape in the isobar here, we'll have to see if this generates any severe weather or not, because you can see what happened yesterday. So we'll have to see if we do indeed get that. That would be our next more substantial chance for thunderstorms, but it really doesn't look that impressive on this model at all. However, the models might be underestimating it a little bit. So let's go look at our dew point and wind flow on the HRRR model, and you'll see we got the killer west winds here, and they'll be with us tomorrow too, but maybe there'll be more of a sea breeze in the afternoon. It's trying to show that there might be more of a sea breeze in the afternoon tomorrow, so maybe we'll see a little more relief toward the afternoon on the South Shore. Still moderate to high levels of humidity. And then as we get into Thursday, you can see a much stronger southerly flow, which means more humidity, but it'll also mean lower temperatures on Long Island. And it looks like the wind's coming more right out of the south, so that should hopefully help. But you'll see there's that dry front there that is approaching with the lower humidity, all right? But when you look at the temperatures, you'll see it's actually hotter air that we're going to be dealing with. So let's go and take a look at the HRRR as we head into tomorrow for your temperatures. And not going to cool down that much. I'll be surprised if we even get below 80 in Nassau County at this point. And then look at what happens tomorrow. We blaze. If Jersey, you're going to go well into the mid-upper 90s, maybe 100 tomorrow, parts of Jersey. Long Island, we're going to see mid-90s again. But you'll see as we get toward the afternoon, you'll see it's later in the afternoon, you'll see it start to ease a little bit there with some 80s, maybe on the South Shore. But to say it's going to be comfortable anywhere is going to be a stretch, to say the least. Muggy night, and then for Thursday, you'll see the heat is more centered in New Jersey. So islip might not be able to hit 90 on Thursday. It's possible islip might not make it to 90. But that still should be a heat wave, I think. Well, let's see. No, yesterday they didn't hit 90, so today and tomorrow, and if they don't hit 90 on Thursday, then it's not technically an official heat wave at islip. But we'll have to see. They may still make it to 90. But you'll see here, again, look at that heat. Again, over Jersey. Jersey is going to be well upper 90s, perhaps 100 degrees on Thursday. All right. Now, if we want to go a little further along and look at the dew points and airflow, then we've got to go to the GFS. So let's go there to the GFS, 18Z run of the GFS. And again, you see that westerly flow here we are tomorrow. Now, GFS, not quite as gung-ho as on a sea breeze tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. It does show it a little more to the evening, but I still think we will get well into the 90s tomorrow. Thursday, that's when we have more of that southerly flow. While it will mean cooler temperatures for Long Island, it'll also mean the humidity is going to be significantly higher. And then as we get into Friday, you'll see what happens here. Dry front comes through. So this is a dry front, and it might drop the dew points down, maybe as low as the upper 50s. Perhaps we'll see dew points in the upper 50s for a little bit. No sea breeze, west winds, which means we're going to be baking. And then for your Saturday, similar deal again with westerly wind and maybe there'll be a sea breeze in the afternoon. But again, it's going to be very limited in nature. And then you'll see here southwesterly winds More of a southerly fall for Sunday, so maybe that may be more of a sea breeze. Here comes this drier air trying to get in by next week on the GFS. Here we are Monday. That would be our next actual cold front, and maybe the front will actually make it through, and we'll actually get some actual dew point relief, but we'll have to wait a whole week for that, if that is even going to happen. That is a whole week, almost a week away. So I'm not going to, go, saying that we're going to definitely get relief by then, but we'll have to see. That would be our next chance. So now let's go to the temperatures here on the GFS. And you will see as we head into your Wednesday, yes, we're going to be dealing with those mid-90s again, well into the 90s. And then here we are. Thursday, you notice Long Island, it could escape the 90s. But if you're in Jersey, you're going to be dealing with 90s. I still think we're going to see 90 in Nassau County, especially Mineola. And then, boom, back into the 90s again for Friday. No sea breeze. Yes, the humidity will be lower. But we're still going to see low to mid-90s across the area. And then here we are Saturday. Brutal again. Jersey, I think you have a shot at 100. Mid-90s across much of Long Island. And then Sunday, we do it all over again. Sunday could be the hottest day in some areas. In fact, I think it's going to go over 100 degrees, at least on one of these days, especially Jersey. The city could see over 100. Long Island, you'll probably see low 90s, again, with more of that sea breeze that could help us out. And then here we are. We get into Monday. We finally see that heat getting pushed down. And then by next Tuesday, you'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s. 90s still possible in Jersey, but at least the humidity will be lower. But yeah, this is, what can I say? It's not a good situation. This is going to be the worst heat wave we've had in like a while, all right? Just the duration of it, how many days above that, and just we have to wait a whole week for relief. So let's go and look at, now that we've done all that, let's go to I want to go to the NAM 12, and I want to look at the 18Z run of the NAM 12, and we're going to see what that front looks like for Thursday, because that's our next chance of possibly seeing severe weather across our area. So you see, it's really not very impressive on here at all. So even on this, it is not impressive at all. So we'll have to see. But the models can underestimate things, so I still think that there could be a possibility of some severe weather that day. What we can do is we can look at the Storm Prediction Center. Let's go Storm Prediction Center, and let's go and look at our possible next severe weather. So it will be the day 2 convective outlook. Well, actually, that's tomorrow. Let's go to the day 3. Yeah, it does have us in a marginal, a slight risk up further north. So we'll have to keep an eye on it and see. Even though the models aren't showing it, the conditions are possibly favorable, even though the models don't want to show it. So anyway, let's go back to the let's go to the RGEM, and I guess we'll go ahead and look at our sky cover. Although we will have a lot of haze, I don't think we're going to see any blue sky. See tomorrow, maybe some scattered cirrus, and it looks like it's showing again possibly a cumulus buildup, possibly bringing some isolated showers of thunderstorms, which you never know. One could be on the strong side in the afternoon. And then for Thursday, you'll see some high clouds, and then there's your cumulus buildup right there. That could be a front or a line of storms here, though it seems like it's developing at around 18Z, which is 2 o'clock. Let me just jump back to the... Yeah, it's showing some kind of precipitation with it. But this is the RGEM, though. It's not really the best model for precipitation. I'm just using this for the clouds. But as you'll see, we'll have hazy skies. Friday, you might actually get a taste of some blue skies. Maybe, I don't know. But in this kind of hot air mass, I strongly doubt it. All right, NAM 3 is the next model we will look at. So we'll use the NAM 3 for the skies as well. Heading into tomorrow, and you'll see plenty of sun. It's not really showing many clouds at all. Maybe some cumulus buildup over New Jersey, but not really showing much in the way. It's Thursday that we might have more clouds around, and that might help to keep the temperatures down on Long Island. But then Friday, we're back into the sunshine again, and we're going to be dealing with the hazy sun just beating down on you. So, again, this is the GFS. You can see it's showing a few clouds. Not really much for Thursday. There may be a few more clouds. It's Friday that we'll have Mostly sunny skies, but there could be some haze around. So even though it'll be mostly sunny, and that kind of heat, I don't think there'd be blue skies. Here we are for Saturday, and again, you might be dealing with some cirrus Sunday, maybe a few more, a lot more clouds on Monday, and then we can push that front to the south of us on Tuesday. Maybe we can get a nice day. But again, that's a week away, almost a week away. So let me go to the Vent2Sky site, and we're going to go ahead and look at our Cape levels for tomorrow, as well as Wednesday. So this is our Cape levels for tomorrow, and you can see not really much for tomorrow, but I think it's Thursday as we head into Thursday. Then you see some of that Cape here around 2 o'clock with that dry front. So that's what we would have to watch out for. All right, and let me not just forget about this, the undergrounds. So just to show you the lack of a sea breeze today, we're going to look at some sites like right on the ocean here, like Long Beach. Even 81 there. So, yeah, hey, look at that. Even 80 there, all right? So, again, not much of a sea breeze. Even if you're in Belmore, there's not much of a sea breeze at all. 83 being reported at South Wantua. All right, and we're going to look at some of these temperatures because I want to show you what happened in the afternoon because I was on the South Shore and I saw what happened. We actually did get a sea breeze in the afternoon for a very short amount of time right here, like between like 4 and 5:30. But then look what happened. The temperature shot back up again. You can see, look at the dew point drop. That was your wind going back to the west, and the temperatures went back into the 90s on the South Shore. Even on the South Shore, low 90s. No relief. And you really, the sea breeze, the only place that seemed to be getting a decent sea breeze are out east. Like Cherry Grove, for instance, all right? If you go further out east, further away from the influence of New Jersey, you'll see that they still managed to get into the mid-80s, but they did wind up getting a sea breeze later on in the day, though. There was a little bit of a spike, but you can see they do have their sea breeze. But literally, that's where you've got to be. Roll the way out there, right on the beach. Otherwise, there is no relief at all whatsoever, unless you're in the air conditioning, which is probably the best place to be for the next probably right through Sunday. You have to be inside. No real walking around outside because it's just so brutal out there. It's just horrible, and I'm not a fan of this weather at all. Some people like it. That's fine. I know it's inevitable in summer. You do get a heat wave. But what's unusual about this is that so many people are experiencing a heat wave at the same time we are. That's the unusual part of it, as well as the length of it, and that is all due to the climate emergency we're in. But don't tell that to people on the South Shore. They're living it up. They're pretending everything is okay when everything is not okay at all. We are in some serious, serious trouble. But that is going to wrap up this weather update. And let's just pray we don't have any power issues. If we can get through this without any power blackouts or major power outages, then I think we'll have done well. And that's the best thing we can pray for at this point. Thank you for watching and have a good night.